So we welcome you here. We made some big news just on Friday where we announced the fact that Savius was going to be merging with Live Action, and we're going to be one company. So essentially that merger, what that means is we're bringing together the best of SNMP and Flow technology from Live Action and the visualization engine that we have together with the best of packet capture and analytics and deep packet inspection from Savius. So with me today is Larry.
Hi, I'm Larry Zoltz. I'm until Friday the CEO of Savius, but now I get to be part of Live Action. I'm thrilled to be there, and now I get to be here and be part of building the next generation of network performance management solutions, because we know that the combination of what Live Action has and their strengths and the strengths we have, it's quite a combination. It's got very exciting through this whole process to see how many different places we can work together.
Yeah, so this all came together because at Live Action, many of you may know us, right? As a visualization company that has been around since 2006, actually. So we've had a long-standing relationship with Cisco. We provide the visualization of Cisco traditional networks, SD-based networks as well. And that has been really our focus and our differentiation, is how we help companies manage complex networks. So our whole premise has been simplify the network through this visualization engine to help you quickly identify where the source of an issue is, and then help you accelerate the path to resolution for that issue, right? So we're adopted by a lot of network operations groups that use us as an essential tool of when there's an issue, when you get the inbound call saying, hey, something's up with the network, you have that first, very quick path to identification of the issue. Going through this as a company, we've been saying for some point in time, what we really need to do is we really need to extend that stack of what we can visualize. So right now we're limited to SNMP and Flow, but wouldn't it be great if we could find a packet capture technology company that would enable us to visualize anything in the network? And so that's what kind of started this journey that we've been on, and that's when we ran into Larry and the Savius team and found it to be an incredibly kind of synergistic and complementary company in almost every regard. Product stacks fit well together, cultures of the company fit well together. So the kind of vision was the same vision that we held, and that's really what led to the announcement on Friday.
So from our side, we started 27 years ago with software to do protocol analysis, to pull apart packets on a network and to make them useful. And up to that point, mostly what was doing protocol analysis was hardware. So we were one of the first software-based products, and that, as I say, it was 27 years ago. And during that time, we started working with network engineers to say, what do you want to see? What visualizations matter to you? What workflow matters to you? And building from packets up into value, packets up into utility, packets, because no one really wants to look at packets if you don't have to, but sometimes it's incredibly useful, and they can't be the source of truth. So we kept building up and up and up, and the truth is, our strengths were down from packets looking up, with perhaps our weakest area, broad visualization. We didn't have that. So you take this incredible visualization that Live Action has, and I'll tell you a very brief story, because no one here has heard, because I haven't told anyone before. About a year ago, I was at a trade show, and I got a Live Action demo, and I didn't know anything about Live Action. We hadn't talked once. I just got a demo at a trade show, and I said, this is the kind of visualization that we need to build as a company. I wasn't thinking we would be acquired and combine them together. I was thinking, this is what we need to build. Starting on that and even looking at that process was daunting. It's a tremendous amount of work. And so when Live Action approached us and said, we can build something together that's incredible, because we really do have the broadest, most comprehensive view across the network, and you really can go all the way down and make it useful and connect that. I said, sign me up. And that brought us here today.
And so what we think of with the software-defined world and everything that's kind of rushing upon us is with this increase in complexity of the wide area network and the network in general, right? So software-defined, multi-cloud, digital transformation, all of these very large, significant, compelling movements that are happening, they all add to network complexity. And we think it goes back to the core of the need to really be able to simplify that and accelerate, the ability to remediate issues when they come, because inevitably they're more and more so with complexity, those issues are going to come. Right, so that vision is, how do we do that? We think by bringing these together, we're really able to take a position where we're defining this next generation of network management. We don't think anybody else is really doing what we're doing in regards to the full stack, and coupled with the visualization capabilities that we have. And that's kind of the path that we're on.
If you look at networks and you say, what do I want from my network? In some ways, people want the network just to work. But the truth is, so much value in every enterprise today is going out over the network that you really need to know it's working. And if there's an issue, you need to resolve it quickly. But we demand more from our networks than that. We want them to be resilient and robust, so that if something unexpected comes along, they work. We want them to be high performance, so that we know that we can handle the peaks and spikes that are inevitable. We want them to be reliable, so they don't just fall over. And then perhaps the most important thing is we want them to evolve. We know that from where we are today to where we are going to be 5 years from now, things are going to be different in the networking world and throughout. And our networks have to be able to evolve and change to do that. To make that work requires tools, great tools, that give visualization of what's going on in depth, all the way down to that truth, all the way at the network traffic level. So this is where I believe we have an opportunity to prepare enterprises for greater and greater dependence on the network. Because, however complex our networks are, this is the least complex they will ever be is today. They're only going to get more complex, and we need the right tools to help us simplify them.
So just to give you a little sense of scale now together, if you may not know how large we are. So we have about 7,000 customers combined. We have a global presence now. Savius was very strong outside North America. So I think you do 40 to 50% of your sales outside of North America, which is great. As far as we had less than 10% ourselves. And combined, we're over 200 people. So we have, a nice kind of critical mass now to be able to take this step forward. I think, our pace of innovation is only going to accelerate because of our kind of combined groups together. And, we look forward to, what this could mean, right?
So one of the things is that we'll talk more over time about integration, because we've just been one company now for a couple of days. But we do know that when you're looking at a network from the flow perspective, there's some dark corners of that network. Areas where NetFlow or SNMP is not available to tell you what's going on, but there's still traffic flowing back and forth. We're able to look at that traffic and export analytics up into the LiveNX product and give visualization in places there hasn't been before. One of the areas that's somewhat dark is often data centers. They often don't turn on NetFlow or SNMP, but we have many of our products sitting in data centers. So being able to extend the visualization out from the wide area network and looking out across into data centers and into areas that haven't been illuminated before, that's going to be happening sooner than you might think.
Yep. We did offer to take questions, by the way, so if anybody has any.
If you want to make it an interactive experience for our audience, so if you do have any questions, please raise your hand. First question that I've heard is, what does this mean for the customer? Either the customer of each company, the customer of both companies, or the customers of the future?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of immediate synergies that we've seen. I'll give you one example. Is if you're a live action customer, as of today, you can now acquire LiveNX on an appliance. So if you want to, we've been selling it as far as just software you deploy it in the environments that you'd like. But if you'd like now to deploy it on a purpose-built appliance, well, guess who has years and years of expertise building appliances that are purpose-built for the needs of an application? So we tailored that to the specific needs of LiveNX, and that's available today. So that's one of the immediate things as a benefit to a LiveNX customer. We also have already prototyped, in the first couple of days together, we prototyped the IPFix flows up from the Savius appliance into our visualization engine. So we'll have a very quick path of the ability to visualize a much broader spectrum of devices that should be in the next quarter, right? It would probably be fair to say. And there's a roadmap until the end of the year as well that will be, I think, very compelling for customers from both sides.
I think our message to existing customers is we are not going to be making those products obsolete. We're going to enhance them. And if you get our products now, as we continue to sell our products, they're only going to be made more powerful and more capable through this integration. So we'll see greater and greater capabilities as we add live action technology into what the savviest customers experience, and the savviest technology into what live action customers experience.
Yeah, we have a lot of common customers already, so that's been interesting when we look at that. We have the same type of profile of customers. So we both sell into enterprise customers. Typically they have larger, more complex type networks is where we add the most value. So oftentimes we're sitting together. So we have the same profile of buyer, we have the same profile of customer. We have complementary products, so there's not like there's an overlap or that would create contention between us. So in that regard, it's just a matter of how can we really find those points of intersection that'll create immediate value.
And it's been rather fun talking to some of those mutual customers and have them say, this is solving a problem. I said, really, what problem? You're already using both products. And they said, too many tools, too many vendors. You're actually a part of the solution to this so-called tool sprawl, where we're just seeing more and more requirements on our time to deal with more and more tools. Love the fact that you're going to be integrating it over time and that you are taking responsibility for that whole experience. So I think it's going to be really a great thing for customers to be able to give capabilities that are world class in a broader area than either of us have been able to do before.
Terrific. And I do want to remind the audience, if you have any questions, raise your hand. We'll bring you the mic. Another question that I've heard is, what do you see as the synergies of joining a flow monitoring technology and a packet monitoring technology, sort of in a joint solution?
Well, I mean, I think the fact is that I think we have a great user interface as far as the visualization that we've created for Flow and for SNMP, and the fact that we can now extend the breadth of that visualization engine to include what we get from the appliance would be great. So many more devices in that same kind of intuitive interface. So I think it's going to be pretty straightforward.
I absolutely agree with that. I also think there's one more opportunity, and that is as you're looking out across with a broad view, the live action broad view of the network, areas where there's potential problems become very clear, and that's a fantastic value. Being able to drill down and getting more information, that's already in the product. But at some point, that information drill down stops. Well, with our technology coupled with the live action technology, you can keep drilling down. You want to get the specific analytics on some piece of traffic, on a flow, we will have that. Where you can store the packets, we run analytics on them, we can have them available out of the Live NX interface. So that's part of the opportunity to drill.
That's right, that's going to be cool. We've already seen a prototype of that as well, is exploiting out the conversations and being able to go back as deep as you want through that intuitive point-and-click interface.
And you mentioned one of the key synergies is the use of the appliance delivery mechanism for an application. For live action, which has always been delivered as a software product, when will the live action appliance be available for customers?
It's available immediately.
You can see one around the corner, and that's, appliances can be a great way to deliver software. And Savius has always been a software company. That's what we do. But we can supply them because in a data center and in various environments, often what's wanted is an appliance. So this extends live actions software in the same way, in places where it hasn't been as suitable before.
It is surprising. I mean, even during the conference this week, how many customers have come back and said, thank God you've got an appliance option now, because I can't tell you how hard it is for me to get my server team to provision a server, physical or virtual, for deployment. So just the fact that we have that option now, it maybe didn't seem intuitive because everybody's moving to virtualized environments, but there's still a tremendous kind of value for a tailor-made appliance that specifically the software.
In terms of visualizing the network, where can we now visualize the network, and where are we still behind?
I don't think there are going to be a lot of areas that are blind to the combination of the two of us, because wherever the network is, that means there's traffic. And when there's traffic, we can run analytics on that traffic and supply it into LiveNX. And we have appliances, when you can tap off of a network element, fantastic. If you can get what you need off of that, fantastic. But we have little appliances all the way up to large ones. Some are very inexpensive and will run at a gigabit interface, and we have others where you can put in 2x40, even 100 gigabit interface into a very powerful appliance, store over 100 terabytes on it, and then pump analytics into the live action product.
So we probably have time for one more question if there is one.
Do you see any opportunity for further integration on the appliances themselves, like some of Savvy's software and live action software on the same box, like for example the Inside or some of the other boxes that you have?
I think that the same argument about tool sprawl, if we don't want to have too many things, that's actually, we're seeing that with some of our big customers. We have some large retail chains, for example, that use our product, and they're saying, we want visualization, troubleshooting, everything in a one-box solution right on the edge of our network. We can put that together now.
Yep. No, so that's it, I think. So we appreciate everybody coming up and your time and attention. Everybody in the Twitterverse, thank you for joining us today.